Right, welcome back. We had a good week last week, didn't we? Cleared a load out.
Yeah, loads got cleared out.
Yeah, so yeah, we've come back in this week. Hopefully we're going to smash through a few of them. So car park's fairly clear. Cleared the loads out last week. So yeah, we're going to get into this week. We've got about 3 a day booked in. Let's see how we get on with them and see if you can fix something this week, eh?
What am I getting slagged on?
Right, let's get into it.
So this Mini Cooper's come in today with a driver's side rear light fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you guys up at the back, and Bob's going to be back there, and we're going to do a light test to see what the actual issue is, whether it's fogs, main or whatever. So let's get that going and then we can work on it from there. Right, so now we've got the camera set up. We're going to confirm the customer complaint. We're going to test all the lights on the rear, see which ones are working and which ones aren't. I do know that these have short circuit protector inside the ECU, so if there's a fault in the light, it won't let the entire light work. Once it's been triggered, it won't allow the light to come back on until it's been reset. Sort of a protection. But yeah, so we're gonna try the light test, confirm the customer complaint, and we'll go from there. So side lights, brake light, left indicator, right indicator, reverse, and fog lights. So now that we've confirmed the customer complaint, right, so it does look like that whole light's gone down. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a scan, make sure there's no codes in there for any short circuits, and we'll go from there.
So it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. So last week, phone slowed down a little bit, got a load of work cleared out, and this week's diary wasn't that full. So I spoke to a friend of mine. He said, "Oh, this is the sort of time you should take on them jobs you always turn away. You know, the classic cars and the wiring up dash cams and that." I said, "No, I'm not breaking my own rules. You know, been working this well for 18 years. You know, we've spent 8 months changing everything around, doing this YouTube channel, trying to get it all smooth. I'm not going against it. It works. We're always busy. It's just a little lull in the thing." So I was like, "No, stick to your guns, Bob." And then just as I went home Thursday, I said to Barney, "We've got a couple of spaces free next week. If somebody phones up, just tell them to pop it in, drop it in, we'll get it done. We'll squeeze it in between jobs." It's thrown us right out this week. You know, we can't move out in the car park. Considering it was empty last week, we spent an hour moving cars around this morning. Well, half an hour between me and Barney, so that's 1 hour's worth of labour lost this morning, just because we're trying to move all these cars around. So yeah, stick to your guns, stick to your processes, try not to deviate from it. Yeah, if your business is changing completely and you need to make some changes, you know, great. But, you know, if it's just a quick lull in 1 week, don't do it. Got that Defender over there. I need to spend 3 or 4 hours back on that one, maybe a little bit longer, and get that one all back together. Still got the BMW E28 out there, which I need to get in and do a load of work on that. And yeah, instead, we've made mistakes. It wasn't planned work. So yeah, unfortunately. Right, let's get back on with it.
Right, so I've given it a scan, and as you can see in here, we've got no short circuit fault code. So we'll strip the light out now and test it from there. So I've had a look at some wiring diagrams. It does use one shared earth for all the lights, so I'm going to strip it out and show you what we find. Right, so I stripped light out of the Mini, and now I'm going to show you what we found. So as you can see in there, that burnt pin is for the earth, and same on the plug. That pin there is the earth pin, and it's burnt out. Right, we replaced the faulty parts on this, and now we're going to do another light test to make sure that it's all working. Right, sides, brake, left indicator, right indicator, reverse, and fogs. Right, as you can see, it's all working. Job's a carrot.
It's got this 2004, 2006, I don't know, Audi A4 Cabriolet. Customer's phoned up, he says the roof isn't working, windows aren't working, central locking's not working, number of other faults. We've checked it, remote's not working at all. Windows do buzz up and down, so they're closing, they open, so that's okay, but the switches aren't working. The roof won't work at all, just says can't be done. Windows aren't working, can't get into the boot, doesn't matter what we do with the locking, won't work. So yeah, number of faults. So all we can do is give it a quick scan, see if it gives us any indication. Problem is it's coming with a flat battery, so I assume the battery's going flat as well. He booked it in to drive it down here, but as it happens, it looks like his battery must have gone flat. He had to have it covered down here so it couldn't get jump started, etc. So we've had the battery on charge. We're going to start working through it. Unfortunately, all the codes that are going to be in there are mainly going to be down to battery being low and stuff like that. So we're going to reset it all, start running through it, see what we can find on it.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this Citroen C4's coming today. Right, it's coming with a handbrake fault on the driver's side. So what I've done is I've scanned it. We've got 2 codes in there, but the one we're going to be focusing on is this bottom one. So electric parking brake right hand actuator. So I'm going to go to the back and jack it up, nip the wheel off it, and I'll show you some testing from there. Alright, so now I've got the wheel off. This is the bit of the loom we need to test. So I'm going to cut all the zip ties off, pull the trunking off, and we'll do some testing from there.
So it's looking like the majority of faults in this are actually communications with the comfort control module. Normally when we get to this, so instruments isn't talking to it, the roof isn't talking to comfort control. So normally we would start getting diagrams up, testing through, checking all the fuses, etc, etc. But these are known for getting water in them. We've done a few now. So before we go any further, they put the module in literally under the carpet in the passenger side. Right, so let's get that stripped. Let's see if I'm right, and I'll show you how we go.
This is the handbrake actuator, and this is these 4 wires here, the yellows, white and orange, is the loom for it. So I've cleared the code and it hasn't come back. So what I've done is I've gone down here and I've wiggled the wires about all over the place, from starting from the plug all the way to just above the fuel tank where it goes into the car, and it's come back. So what I've done is I've narrowed it down throughout wiggling it. So I'd hold it here, wiggle it here, hold this bit still, and it wouldn't come back. So I kept moving my way down until I found exactly where you'd have to wiggle it for the code to come back. And what we found was it is right on the plug. So right at the back of the plug, if we held these wires here like that and wiggled it like that, the code would always come back without fail. So I'll just show you. So what I've done is I've tested all the pins, the tightness of them all, and 3 out of the 4 were loose. So what I've done is I've pinched them in so they're a lot tighter, plugged it back in, and live on camera, so I'm going to clear the code, wiggle the wires, and see if it comes back. Now I've tightened the pins. Right, so as you can see, the code has cleared, and what we're going to do, we're going to wiggle it and see if it comes back. So that's pretty much what we did last time. So actually put a little bit more force into it to make sure that they're tight enough. We're going to scan it again, and ta-da! The code has stayed cleared. So we traced it all the way back from, it comes out of the car from the fuel tank. We started there, worked all the way back, and it turns out it was just loose pins in the plug. So there you go. I'm going to put the car all back together, give it a road test, make sure that it is still all good when it comes back, and job's a carrot.
So when you're removing these seats, don't forget to try and make them as small as they possibly can. This is all electric. I've seen people, they try and get the seat right up to make it easier to unplug it and stuff. Then they can't get it out of the hole. So you're best to unbolt it, unbolt the front, unbolt the back, put it right down as far as it'll go, fold it right forward, then just lean it back, unplug your plugs, and you're away. Job's a carrot. But what's the point if you don't try and think ahead? You disconnect everything, disconnect the battery, and then you can't get the seat out. So that should come fairly easy now. Forward, lean it across, and there we go. Right, let's get that out of the way. So the idea was to lift the carpet up and see whether we've got any water under here while I was leaning under the back, soaking, you know. Can't see it, but you can feel it. So bad. Yeah, it's we've definitely got a lot of water in there. So I'm going to pull these trims off, get the rest of this out. I'll show you what we're going to find. So well, what do you think of that? That body control module, comfort control module. Let's just open that up. Oh. Oh dear. There's all that water pouring out of there. So it stinks. That's definitely got a smelly burny smell. Right, let's pull that apart on the bench and show you how bad it's going to be. Let's pop this apart. Oh, well, I've seen some bad ones. Howdy. Well, what do you think of that? All this corrosion. It stinks. But that didn't happen overnight. That's a dry part there. Look at that. So that's where it's been getting hot and draining the battery and stuff. So there we go. That's that. Now the problem is with this Audi is that whole interior's got to come out now. The carpet's got to come out. We've got to get a repair loom. I have seen people sell the module with a nice loom what's come out of a good car. So you can do that. But by the time you get another module, get it cleaned up, chop all that out, whole interior out, so all the seats have got to come out, centre console got to come out to get the carpet out. That carpet will take 3-4 weeks to dry. You know, we'll keep sucking it out while it's hanging, but then yeah, they take forever to dry. So yeah, that's got like 4 inches of water in the bottom of there. So it's going to be a couple of grand before he even gets into it, you know. So that's before he gets the roof sealed up. You know, we don't get involved in that. I'm definitely not a roof sealer upper type person. So we'll have to go back to him, but that's basically as far as we can go now without pricing some bits up, letting him know the bad news. And yeah, so that one will have to go out until we make a decision on what we want to do with it. But yeah, it'll be a big old job. So let's get that out, get on with something else. Right, so we've managed to clear some cars out. It's been a bit of a hectic one, but what can we do? We've got through a few. What have you finished?
The Mini,
On the rear light fault yet?
yeah, and then the handbrake fault.
On a C40, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, so yeah, Barney's been doing that. I've been looking at this A4. Customers has given us a go ahead to strip all the interior out of that one, so that's going to be coming in next week. So yeah, let's see how we go. So we've managed to get to 5,000 subscribers. Thanks very much for what you've done. We have got a video coming out tomorrow night. It's a Thursday night. It'll be out tomorrow. Have a look at that. We've got something good going on that because we got to the 5,000 subscribers. So yeah, have a look at that. And yeah, so if you can click the like button, it does push it out a bit more. Obviously subscribe if you're not subscribed. And yeah, check us out tomorrow night. It's going to be good, isn't it? What do you reckon?
It's going to be good.
Good twat. Right, see you tomorrow.